Ah, hello there. You must be the page who's here to greet me. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Percival Alden Frederick Blackwood IV. But please, you can call me Percy. So, this is the human kingdom, is it? I must say it's quite a lot warmer than I'm used to. I don't really much care for that. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's lovely weather you have. It's just, husky. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. So, where is the young prince that I'm meant to be meeting? Not on the grounds yet. Okay, fair enough. So, what shall I do in the meantime? Ah, good idea. Yes, that would probably be best if I unpack my things and make myself at home. I'm sure the young prince will be here very soon. Psst. Psst. Hey, buddy. Over here. Yeah, you, come here, quick. So, you work at the palace, do you? Ah, good. So, what do you reckon of this Husky prince, then? He seems nice. Oh, just like a servant to the royal. So young, so naive. You do know what's actually going on here, right? Of course you don't. Well, what if I was to tell you that this whole royal meeting between the human prince and the Husky prince was all a massive conspiracy? Oh yeah, I know information you wouldn't believe if I told you. You see, there's been this kind of underground plot for a good number of years now, maybe a couple of centuries. The Husky Prince and his kind, well, let's just say they don't actually take too kindly to humans. They like to make us think that they do, but in actuality, they want us all gone. Yeah, trying to extinct the human race. But they tried to do that with weapons, violence, starting wars. And it never worked for them. Humans are just too strong in that regard, you know. So instead, they started changing their tactics. In what way, you ask? Well, getting all buddy-buddy with us for a start. Their hope is that by making allies with us, rather than enemies, they can basically breed us out of existence. Oh yeah. Creatures like that, their genes are far more potent than humans. They get passed down from generation to generation, even if you haven't even got one of their kind in the bloodline for over 5 generations. Eventually, the human genes would be bred out entirely. So, I've got a little job for you. After this meeting, the Husky Prince is going to want to have an ambassador sent from the human kingdom to his own castle. I have some very powerful friends in some very low places. They can pull the strings needed to get you to be that ambassador. What you're going to do is you're going to go into the Husky Prince's castle and assassinate him. Make it look like it's one of his own members of the court. Start a coup in his kingdom. They'll rip their own throats out. So, what do you say? Oh! Oh, hello again. My goodness, I didn't realize that the page was also an ambassador to the human kingdom. What a pleasant surprise. Well, introductions are not necessarily needed, but they're always a nice formality. Welcome to my kingdom. My name is Percival Olden Frederick Blackwood IV. But of course, you may call me Percy. Come in, come in. No need to be shy. I'm sure the weather is not quite what you're used to. But I trust that the trip wasn't too unpleasant. You had a good journey. That's good to hear. It can be rather perilous, to say the least, when I have guests coming over from other kingdoms. Oh, I'm afraid we've been having a bit of trouble with bandits in the country. I send my guards out as regularly as I can to try and take down their camps, but unfortunately they're a bit like fleas. Once you've got them, it's very difficult to get rid of them entirely. But anything for the safety of my guest. I must say that my visit to the human kingdom was wonderful. The warm weather aside, I had a really nice time. It was quite nice to get to hang out with a royal from a different species. After the wars between our kinds, I feared that maybe I wouldn't have the chance to get to know different species because I thought all the bridges had been burned. So imagine my delight when the human prince actually voluntarily invited me. Oh, It was a wonderful learning experience. Brought back a few trinkets and souvenirs as well. Your human currency is unusual, to say the least. Well, I mean, you use metal and polymer plastics to represent your currency. You don't trade in commodities like my kind do. Whoever has surplus in one product will trade for the surplus of another. We trade what we need and what we think we'll use. Oh, there have been people who have tried pushing for us to use a form of currency similar to what you humans use. But, well, call me old-fashioned. I don't really see anything wrong with the system we have in place. With the way we have things now, poverty in the way that I've seen in your kingdom doesn't seem to exist in the same way. Everyone has the means to produce their own goods that they can barter with for the goods that someone else creates. There isn't this culture of elitism. There are people who can produce numerous goods, yes, but they had to start from somewhere. And knowing how their family started with only being able to make, for sake of argument, fur coats, and then having to work their way up to being able to create fur coats, meat products, and bed linen, it's humbling for them. It makes them realize how lucky they are to have the means to do that. So the community's a lot more close-knit. And people don't mind helping others when they're short on a few items. Oh, I'm not disparaging your system in any way. If your economic system works for you, then it works. But I, for one, think that our system works perfectly fine to suit our needs. Exactly. When we're trading with humans, we do have I suppose a kind of currency. It's very new. We've only just started minting it. I know that humans don't particularly like being traded in material goods when they are used to using this money that you use. But for domestic trading, we still stick to the bartering system. Look at me prattling on about politics. That's getting a bit ahead of ourselves. We're not here for that just yet. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to twist your ear off. Well, you're very kind. But if ever I do start twisting your ear off, just, I don't know, get a spray bottle or something. I'm sorry. It's just... I saw this human TV show. And the host of the show was teaching people how they could train their dog to be more obedient with a spray bottle. And it just sort of seemed a bit silly. You don't need a spray bottle to get a dog to sit and to behave. Just a good, well-placed scratch behind the ears. Scritches are everything to a dog. In fact, when I was spending time with the human prince, we would spend some time just sitting together in his room, and he would... Well, a husky never scritches and tells. Right, well, I think first port of call is for you to unload your things in your room, and we can share a nice banquet together. It's getting close to dinner time, so I'll see you in maybe half an hour for a banquet. Excellent. See you then. Hello again. Nice to see you looking so... Wow, incredibly dapper. There was no need to dress up for the occasion. Now I feel underdressed in my own palace. Oh, no need to feel bad. No. I just intended this to be a nice, relaxed, casual banquet. But the thought is definitely appreciated. It's nice to see that you've got enough respect to make yourself look nice. Come, sit. We have much to talk about. So, how long have you worked as a page for the human prince? Interesting. So you must have seen some quite interesting events happening as the prince grew up? He told me a couple of stories about how you would look after him. Barely much older than him, from what I understand. Started as a personal hand servant of sorts. Yeah, he did sort of have a wistful look in his eyes when he looked back at those times. Showed me a few photographs as well. Yeah, of when you two were younger. You would teach him how to do fencing. He'd always get a little bit too aggressive. And then you'd have... Exactly! That was exactly what he said. I thought he was embellishing. But did you seriously? No. You can't. How did the prince's parents not have your head? I mean, wrestling a prince. That's crazy. Would you like some more wine? There you go. I must say it's quite nice to be in good company. Back in the human kingdom, I was constantly under surveillance from at least 3 guards. Yeah. Would you believe that, for some reason, there are humans who think that there's a conspiracy between my kind and your royals? Yeah, it's crazy. They seem to think that... It's silly trying to say it out loud, but it's like they think we're trying to breed humanity out of existence. Right! It's absolutely crazy. I mean no offence, but humans are, well, you're an attractive species. You're not unpleasing to the eye. I just couldn't see myself breeding with one. No, I couldn't see myself breeding with a human. I mean, well, no. It's silly. It's no. Honestly, it's nothing. You really want to know? What I'm about to tell you, it can't leave this banquet hall. If my people knew this about me, then... let's just say that it, wouldn't end well for me. I have no interest in mating for the purpose of breeding. And if I were to have a mate, well, I would prefer it if it wasn't of the, yeah, I guess that's one way you could describe it. Yeah. No, my people are... they're not very accepting about, matters of that subject. Truth be told, I've kind of been living a little bit of a facade about my relationship with the prince. I wasn't actually taken by surprise by his invitation to have our meeting. It was a ruse. A veneer to cover up the true intentions of my visit. Yes, the human prince and myself, we have been romantically communicating for a while now. And he really is wonderful. I don't fear being myself around him. I can just relax and not have to be this royal presence, and I can just roll over onto my back and he'll rub my tummy and call me a good boy, and the scritches. No, just thinking about it's making my leg go. I'm sorry, it's silly of me. A toast. To your health. Huh? Don't drink the wine. Why? You poisoned the bottle. Oh, I know that. That's why I poured a bottle of wine that you hadn't touched. I'm sorry, I decided me to laugh. But it's the look on your face. You look so shocked. I'm sorry, but did you forget? I'm a husky boy. Dogs can smell better than humans. I smelt that you had poison on your person the moment you got here. Yes, I knew you were going to try and assassinate me. As soon as I smelt the poison, I thought, okay, so this is going to be an assassination attempt. But the fact that you poisoned a bottle of wine, it shows me that you're not fully committed. You were put up to this, weren't you? Well, don't worry, I don't blame you. In fact, the prince and I, we kind of suspected. So, don't worry, you're not going to get in any trouble.
Would you like a fresh glass of wine? I don't want you to accidentally end up ingesting some of the poison you intended for me. There you go. To your health. Well, that's very kind of you, thank you. I hope my relationship with the prince goes well too.